All right, guys, let's get into the next part of the passing game. And I kind of reorganized the 5-step, 7-step section a little bit. Want to make sure you guys can kind of see it differently. I'm going to get on the Madden field. I'm actually going to show you how I separated the plays. But we went through the branch plays, okay, with the backside tag of either drive, follow, right? There is a branch bow. We'll talk about that later, all right? We went through the flag bow, okay? So we have pretty much one, two, in my mind, concepts that we're going to use, right? Now let's get into our other concepts here, which would be arches, buffalo, and Aggie, okay? The good thing about these three concepts, we're going to really run these concepts from more spread formations. So as in the first two concepts we used, it was more of a compression set. Now we're going to kind of spread the ball. We're going to spread people out a little bit. We're still going to attack most of the time in the middle of the field, but it's just going to be done from a different formation. Okay. So the first thing is going to be arches. Okay. And I have mixed feelings about this play. To be honest with you, I have called it in games and thrown interceptions. The progression is a little bit different. We're going to take a look at it on the field. But first, let's take a look at it on the 49ers playbook. Okay, so this is an old school play that really was really popularized in the digit system. People used to call it short post or Zampese because Zampese used to run it back with the Cowboys. But you go back to Mike Martz, he ran this a lot as well with Marshall Faulk in the slot. But really, it's just a basic concept. It's a horizontal spread, okay? And usually it's always built out of 3-by-1. All right, you can run it from 2-by-2, but 3-by-1 is pretty much the core way of that the Niners run it. And you will kind of sometimes motion to it. Sometimes it's best to actually motion to it, which I haven't done in the game, so maybe that's my fault. But as you see, it's 3-by-1. Number two is going to run this kind of slant route. I'm not sure. It's called arches, I guess, but it's just kind of like a get open route, right? In the game, it's just pretty much like a high slant. He technically is the read number one. Then we have what we have just an on the move. I just saw a note right there that says on the move. Interesting. In a game that's just a shallow that can either sit down or be on the move. I'm going to come back to that because I do think it might be better on the move. Okay, but that's just a 4 to 6 yard route, tight end working across the field. And then you're going to have a back that's going to be check releasing out to the side of the tight end where he's coming to. So that's your third read. Okay. I personally believe, and from my opinion, that these two reads here are going to have to be done at the same time, all right, especially in the Madden world. So we'll look at that in the field, but that's just right there. So that would be an example of coming in I formation and running arches. Unfortunately, we can't really do that in the game. We're going to be lining up in trips formations most of the time and running 3-jet F arches. Okay, you put the letter of the person that's running the arch route. All right. So I just want to show you that play. It's pretty simple. This is a good first and 10 play. Get back on track play, second and long. It could be even used as a third down play. But I do have some questions about how to read it out, and I do have some questions about the number 2 route. Should I put him on an actual route that just keeps on going across the field, like how they have there on the move, no matter what? Or should we have it as a read route as it is in the game? I think on the move might be better, but let's take a look at it on the battlefield. Okay, so this is the arches play. I do want to just show you quickly the way I have it set up is I have my third downs kind of in my favorites for you guys. You want to look at the plays and just kind of copy down these plays. This is the order of the third down pass plays that are in there right now. Okay, so some of these things are in there. Arches is actually shows up here at a bunch, which is bunch trail. All right, but we do have our third and long, which starts all the way back here, all the way up to third and like I think 2 to 6. So I just want you to know that. All right, and then what I did was beneath that, I kind of grouped together the plays that we kind of been over so far, right, and the concepts, so we can come back and look at that later, and I can keep track of it myself. But for right now, we're going to look at arches. Okay, so the first one's going to be shotgun wide trips. Okay, which is just trips right. All right. I do believe that running this stuff out of non-traditional personnels might be better, like running it out of 12 personnel or 21 personnel. It kind of gets the defense to be a little more vanilla. You don't want to really go up against true nickel, where people have a lot of different coverages they can play. Okay. But let's just take a look at this play. I'm going to kind of call it versus random plays, put myself on the spot a little bit here. So you see Debo, the red route, he's running the first route, the arch, okay? And then Kittle is running the next route. But you see there's a little break in the line over by the 30-yard marker over there. He will sit down versus zone and he will keep on running versus man. All right. That right there is what he does. I do believe we won't worry. It won't bother us because let's look at the timing of this route and how things are going to open. Okay. One miss, two miss, three miss, right? By that time, if I really got to, or I say throw, but one throw, two throw, all right. I believe that the two throw is where we're going to have to make a decision on either throwing the first read or the second read. So to me, that's 2A and 2B, or 1A and 1B, really. I'm throwing it at the two throw timing, okay, 2 second timing. I believe that no user can really, that much amount of space between the first and second read, he can't cover both. All right. So, and then if you don't have either of those two, just come off of it and throw it to your back. I believe that is the best way to look at it. All right. Just so you know, we have the outside routes that are running like these stop routes. I don't really like those. I think I'm gonna put them on comebacks. Those stop routes, I'm not 100% or 100% sure on. I'll probably put just one guy on the left hand side on a comeback, and I can use that as like an alert. I get an easy read of cover one or something like that. I can just throw that route if I want. Okay. But let's just go through the progression here. One throw, two throw. I hesitated. So because I'm not used to the play, I hesitated. When I said two throw, I definitely should have thrown it to Kittle. One throw, two throw, Kittle's open. Okay. Obviously, the first read is not there. My brain has to go right now to this and throw it on that timing before he sits down. Okay. But I should have, and my hands didn't do the right thing. Jimmy Garoppolo, by the way, this is 2019 rosters. Went out and found those. Got, uh, we got all the players from that team playing. Uh, throw it to the flat. Right? I should have done that. That's on me. Okay, so my fault. Again, if this play is really, I really want that first read. I mean, that's really what you want to throw. It's a good time to throw it there versus that all-out pressure. That is the hot route, by the way. Okay, and you can also see I'm doing a poor job of not getting my protections down. So make sure you remember to slide to the right. Okay, and then mic whoever you want. We can leave the mic point right there. Just know that it takes two for it to be hot on either side of the mic, including the mic. All right, that one here, I saw that the guy was sitting down hard. That's my fault. All right, so that would be the one time that I think that comeback needs to be really part of the progression. I saw the way the inside back is dropped, and I just assumed that my first read wasn't there. Bad job by me. Okay, I'll have to know that cover three in this game, you got to be able to still hit. The way the backers drop here, he's going to drop outside of three, even almost outside of two. Actually, this is just regular cover three. This is not skinny. He's actually just dropping like to the inside part of the numbers, which is almost, that's the way they play versus 3-by-1. So that route right there is money. Okay. So I came off of that way too soon. I need to go one, sippy two. One thing I'm kind of struggling with right now, even in this video, is it's a lot of space to even see who's open. Like you got to really open up your vision and see both of them. Okay. And then I don't know why my running back stayed in the block. Hold on. There's no blitzer. That's kind of weird. Anyway, let's take a look at it again. Now that was man to man, and I kind of I was really, I knew that Kittle was going to win on his shallow, and he was going to keep on running. I was hoping the back would get out of there sooner. Yeah, that wide flat, I'm not sure about that. We might have to take a look at that. We could turn this play into a scat play, which means we're going to go 50 protection. I can just put this guy out to the flat, but the progression wouldn't be there as a third read if I did that. So I got to keep him on some sort of check release flat route. So I gave it to him there. I kind of wanted to throw it to the number one receiver, to the slot receiver, but I felt like somebody was sitting in the middle on the throw. 2-3 also bumped the hell out of him. I would have waited. I'm like, oh, it's open. But then I kind of peeked this guy, kind of started to cheat back to the right. That's what the game will do. The game will have players start moving in one direction and then move back at the other. That's kind of why I want to sit on this throw. I don't want to necessarily just anticipate it because guys will make moves, right? Like I thought that's at number three. I was throwing that to number three, just so you know. All right, let's look at some other versions of this play. Is this one of my favorites? Not yet. I can't say that. Let's look at it versus. So this is the same play, just from a tray open formation. So it's just probably a little bit more space, which may be cool. Right. So one thing you got to watch out for is lurking safeties. One robber, three buzz. Those are the guys that could make a play. And I kind of saw this guy coming over to the left. He's really just following number three, but I wasn't sure if he was going to come running downhill. Again, I kind of waited for him to get out of the picture to confirm that I can throw it. So let's go one throw, two throw. I made that decision. Okay. I would not have been wrong if I would have took the running back also and said, all right, not there, throw it to the back. I'm gonna put the back into a check release flat because I think his route's a little bit screwy the way it is naturally. That one, that's a tough one there. Didn't trust my eyes. Let me take a look at this. One throw, two throw, take a picture. Right. This is what I talk about where you get players that kind of start moving to the right, they start moving to the left, and then that I'm looking at the middle linebacker. To the left right now, I'd be like, see, normally in most worlds, I would say, oh, as soon as he does this, I'm throwing it, which I should have probably, if you look at it. You see how he stops and squares up again? So the linebackers make it tough for horizontal routes because they go sideways and stop, sideways and stop. That's why a lot of people just throw the drag no matter what, which I could have, but I wasn't sure about the other linebacker. So good job by them. This looks like this is just a fire zone three. They're playing match coverage. There's really nothing to really match besides the guy to the flat, the running back to the flat. But if you look at this play, you know this is the type of result you can get. You might want to just say, I'm throwing it to Kittle. You know what I mean? That's the more that I look at it, that's the direction I want to go there. Take a look at this. Again, the same thing. Right, that was man coverage, but it felt the same way at the point that I made my decision. Kittle was going to win. That's what it felt like. Right? If you're not sure, give it to the back. Hopefully, you can catch the ball and get some yards. Computer's giving me a whole bunch of post safety coverage. I'll have to get some split safety coverage. It could be it right here. There goes that same play we had before. So that looks like that's like palms. Take a look at the coverage because guys, we learn coverage as we kind of teach offense. It helps how to read coverages, but this looks like it looks like it's cover six. If it's not, yeah, that's definitely cover six. Safety's just running out of there to go help number one on the right hand side, right safety, strong safety. He should just free up and help. He should technically free up and help out right where the ball is going to go, but he's programmed to go do what he's doing on the field right there, which I don't understand why. Okay. And then the last one is a version out of bunch, which is going to be a third down play for you. So let's go here. Bunch trail. This one kind of, I actually like the way that this one opens up. It just takes time. One throw, two throw. It doesn't take that much time. This is a great play versus people that play stock defense. That was all out pressure. I tried to wait on the shallow to come open. Didn't. I'm playing against a computer right now. I think most computer users are going to probably play that route. I know I do. But we talked about quarters coverage. This thing eats up quarters coverage. Don't forget to run with your quarterback. I find myself when you're throwing a lot of short routes and they get covered, you got to run. And that's one thing. And there's not a lot of deep options in this passing game from a drop back standpoint. So, you guys are going to be sitting there on your plays. You got to be able to react sometimes and move around with your quarterback and try to save the down. I've noticed that. So, all right. So that's arches for you guys. I will come back in this. Actually, you know what? Let's just keep all this in one video. I think that's what I did last time. I put a few concepts into each video instead of making it like 15 or 16 different videos. All right, so I'll see you in the next concept. Okay, so archers, I took a little bit of time there. I spent some time on that. You can see I'm not that 100% confident on it. If you guys have any coaching points that you like, let me know. All right, my favorite play, honestly, is Buffalo. I'm not going to lie. I've been running this for a while. So much so, I mean, it does remind me of Tampa and or stairwell in the other languages that we know from Texas Coast and from Tom Moore Indie offense. It's pretty much the same play. So it's going to, you guys have seen me run this play, but there is a big difference here. Okay. So let's take a look at it on the 49ers playbook. Okay. So Buffalo is really a backside concept, and I haven't seen it called as a front side concept, but it really kind of does. You kind of get to it pretty quickly. Okay. The first part of the concept is going to usually be some sort of front side route that is breaking out. Again, in that same category of kind of like we're working branch and tree. This is going to be similar so that we're going to have ourselves in this play CO. All right. It's the first time that we're bringing this up. Actually, I don't know if I put it up in the other one. I don't think so, but CO is a choice out. Okay. It's working off of the choice route. So in the NFL, the choice route usually guy comes up and stems up and can work out. He can sit down. Sometimes he can work in, right? And that's in the game. That's a choice route. But in their system, they actually made it, they call it a choice out to make it, to tell the running back to make it look like you're about to run an option route, which usually gets defenders to like sit heavy inside. As soon as they think you're going to run an option route, they're like, I'm going to sit heavy inside. I'm not going to let you cross my face. And I'm also going to tackle you if you just curl up, right? And you're running it out. So it's a dedicated out by whoever gets called the CO. All right. And in this case, this is the half HCO. So it's no, it's basically like running branch, but you're doing it from the backfield, and then also obviously you're running it at 2 to 3 yards. So overall, you probably are running about like 8 yards, but you're doing it from the backfield. Today's current 49er group, they kind of have him like standing out. I did do something funky where they got him like standing out here, like out of the formation, but still standing back like he's a running back, and he runs the same route. Okay, but in this case, that's all we got. So this is the first read. If you like it, you take it. I'll be honest with you, I actually don't look at that a lot. I don't even really consider it a lot. I consider the Buffalo like my first part of the read. Okay. So it's a 3-by-1 formation. Okay. And what you're going to see here is you're going to get, how come that's the number 3 read? Where's 2? Hold on. You guys see this? Why is it skipping? It doesn't say where the number 2 is. Interesting. I guess they really want you to hold the ball. That's weird. But anyway, the read goes to this kind of over the middle route. Right? This is kind of compared to my Texas Coast, the B route. All right. Usually it's a post versus 2 high safety. It's kind of 1 high safety going to cross his face. You're not going to get the ball. But really, it's almost like an alert in my mind. If this is wide to F open, bro, just take it. You know what I'm saying? And then the next part here would be the underneath route. Okay, coming here. All right. So this is attacking what zones? High lowing zone. All right. We're going to talk about this later. It's an inside stack. Okay. It's a common combination that a lot of people run. And this play actually is a slant by number 1 heading up the field. Now, in the game, you're going to see some shallows. I think you can keep it a shallow or drag. You don't have to make it a slant, but we'll talk about that later. The one route that I think is really kind of unique is this route here in the backside. It's the curl. So in other offenses, that's a different type of route. That's usually an in-breaking route that's like working like a dig. In this offense, that route is the one that I actually throw the ball to the most. Because if you get any type of man or match coverage principles, you're going to get that guy to get really good position in this game by putting him on a curl. Okay, so let's just go through this actual progression. I personally do it as 1 to 2, and this is kind of like 2B. Because if this is man coverage and he's running across the field, and I can tell that guys are, there's a corner or whoever running with him a man or match, my eyes just automatically go to this guy, and I know I almost throw the ball on anticipation. I don't really hold it. Okay. So it's more like 1 okay, and then 2A, 2B, okay. If you really want to get the back involved because you have a really good back, like I have Christian McCaffrey, then yeah, you can sit and hold it on one, okay, and then swing your eyes back to two, three, four, okay, in that direction. Let's see if that makes any sense to you guys, okay? That's kind of the play. So the cool thing about this play is that it can be, tagged in the front side to give you some cool other, coverage beaters or makes life hard for an offense. So if you can find other versions of this, you can also make this up. You can see this one right here is bunch, so that's pretty cool. And we're running this from like a close formation. We can run this. We're going to do it in our game. We can run it from a 3x1 nub set like this one down here. So this one here is pretty good. I have this set up. So now I really like that choice out over here. Okay. The problem is the game sometimes doesn't give you a good route. So I do believe that if it's hot, he's supposed to just run a hard flat right now, which we can do. And then the hot route is that underneath shallow. Okay. So let's take a look. This is the first one here. There's different types. Oh, before I even do that, let me show you the other ones first. So that was choice out. Then we have choice. So you could technically run this play and have a choice route now. I think the numbers were wrong on the last one because now we got number two, as I said over here. But if you really like your running back matchup and want to give him an option route, you can go with that. Okay. And then, especially, I think some are built in the game. So that's H choice Buffalo, right? That's how it's called. And then the last one here I want to show you is branch Buffalo. So we're back into the same thing now where we're just running branch. It's the same thing. Now we're doing it with what? A wide receiver, probably, or an X receiver. So this one here, they motion the guy out, make him go out. Now we got branch, and we're still running the Buffalo concept on the backside. So you can create these things and kind of be very creative. And that's the one thing. Don't get caught up in right now, like my offense is my offense. You can create these things from different formations, different playbooks, whatever works for you. And that's how throughout your game planning weeks, as you grow with the offense, you need to change up the looks. I just spoke to somebody today talking about, yeah, they kind of, they don't like the formations, a lot of compression stuff. That's part of the reason why I'm kind of using more of this playbook, 2018, because he had more spread formations. I think that's what he needs to do in real life, which he actually did a little bit this year. The Niners are using a little more spread. Maybe he just trusts his quarterback now. But long story short, this is going to be two scat. We haven't gone over two scat yet. It's pretty much just empty protection. Okay. It's going to be 5-man protection. We're going to have to know where our hots are. And this is the examples where we have two hots again. So it's the first read, right? Boom. And then it's also that underneath route. Okay. So we can really change up the backside of the play. I think there's actually one more in here. Hold on. Give me 1 second. And then we'll jump on the field. Okay, these are all branches. Oh, here it goes. My fault. Okay, so we have 3 Jet X Scout. So Scout is kind of for them like a 10 yard, I guess it's a 10 yard or 14 yard. No, 10 yard comeback, and Scooter is a 14 yard comeback. So really what I'm trying to get to is that I think I have Scooter in there. We can run the same play and then just make that first. Am I wrong here? Hold on. Yeah, he's telling X Scout. So I mean, it's an alert, but we can also treat that as the read of one or an alert. Okay, but it looks like here he's going 1 to 2 to 3. But the X Scooter or Scout can give you a nice little option to work something there. Okay, and then there's another one here, Stool, which I think I actually have this one somewhere else in the book. We'll get to it later. But Stool, X Stool is a C route, right? So we got this guy running this, running the C route, and that is that. Okay, so we will get to Fork later. You guys recognize that play, right? That's in the play. That's Salem. That's in there. All right. And then we'll get to some other things. But I want to give you some of the tags you can use, these outbreaking routes that you can use when you use Buffalo. Okay. Or whichever you decide to put on the backside of your route. All right. I jumped ahead a little bit with the fork. We'll come back to that later on. All right. Let's jump on the Madden field. Okay. So let's just move down to this is third downs. I do have it in third down here with the shotgun empty tray stack right there. Okay. But let's just do how we have it right now. We're going to go with these three formations. So let's start with gun tray open. All right. And so there's different ways, different things we can do. That this one here, the Jet New Orleans play would be a version of what the scooter, right? So I'm gonna go random play here. So we have that kind of alert out there. If you don't like the picture on the inside, it looks real muddy. They kind of drop a lot of people, but you have that one-on-one on the outside, you're good. Okay, so that's there for me. Sometimes I see coverage as soon as I drop back, and I can read the coverage quickly. I'll look out there. But right now, this looks like cover 6. Okay, so let's go with put the curl on number 2. Okay, and we're just and then you can see how the route right there is actually the in route. So you can slant number 1. I am not a huge fan of this. I feel like this is a little bit gamerish. So I end up kind of leaving it alone. But I'm going to do it here for you guys just to see how it looks. And that's an example right there of me making a pretty quick read. All right. So, I kind of knew the coverage based off of the early look. But number 1, my number 1 was taken away. Like, you know this is open because you're going to throw it really quick. Okay. So my eyes automatically went to my next read, and I can see it's man to man. I could potentially throw it to him, but I'd rather throw this route versus man this year in this Madden compared to throwing the slant. Okay. Let me just go through my reads and timing standpoint. 1 throw, 2 throw, make the decision on time. Okay. And then obviously our outlet is our running back. Take a look at it one more time. I mean, this is an obvious 2-man look, but it could be cover 2. This also lines up the same way in cover 2. We are going to put our curl on. I still have the inside guy. That one was a really tough play. Okay, that's one of the first times I've seen that. If I had to come back in my progression, I could have possibly gone out there, but it looks like some sort of cover 2, like I had said it was going to be, right? So you would hope that your underneath route would get there, and I didn't. I should have probably thrown this ball to him, but I did not. This is where I'm wondering if I had a slant, would it be better? I'm not sure. Yeah, I think a slant would have been better. There's guys that's open in that play, but that would be one play you want to watch out for. And this looks like this is a hot route situation. So we can also now add in some of the other stuff that we talked about. We could take the running back and put him on a triple option route. I don't like how he runs to the line of scrimmage there. Okay, so what I'd probably rather do is take him and move him out, let him run his option route out there, right? Or we can have him run branch if we want. Get him down to about 8 yards or so, 10 yards if you want to go tree. So we can have all this stuff. This is scat. We know that we're going to be hot if we get 6 coming. We didn't get 6, so we're okay. But we still threw it to the first read. I threw that late. I was looking at the pressure. Take a look at this real quick. This is a 5-man rush. I guess they're playing. Oh, the guy came from really far. Okay. But that first read is going to be the back here in this case. The second read would have been the underneath route. I see the tight end getting open, but can't wait on that. Anyway, that's that. So you guys see that formation there? This is a very basic way to also get into some nice 3-by-1 formations and not be stuck always in compression. And we also have it built here with the drag vertical. So this one will be the HCO version, choice out, because the running back is going to run that route and he's going to run it, regardless of the coverage. So this one, you're going to have to sit and wait on it. If you like the running back, somebody like a McCaffrey, something that you can wait on. So that would be your first read. I do believe I'm going to have to take that slant and have him go like this. So this would be a double, 2 hot routes. All right. This one is going to be tough because we're hot. I had to get rid of that ball sooner than that. The choice out, I think in real life, he would not run the vertical stem with halfback. He would actually just go to the flat. Looks like they're going to give me another cover 0, so we can work on it again. I mean, you could just change your protection. You could change a whole bunch of stuff here. But the main thing is who you're going to throw it to in time. Most likely that slant would be the one you want to throw it to. All right. All right. Computer, give me something else. The computer gets into its own little mode sometimes and wants to act crazy. So I'm thinking this is the way I want to probably run this. I could have thrown it to the curl. But you can see this is a good route versus man in zone. All these routes that they run are good versus man in zone. If you don't notice, like I'm not sitting here talking about oh, this is really good versus this coverage. This is good versus that coverage. Because especially in today's game, it's hard to tell, right? So that's that. Let's look at the last one that we're going to talk about really is going to be this 3x1 nub version, tight ends flexed. Okay. I'm not giving you the formation names right now. I just want to talk about the concepts. But we're going to take number two, put them on a curl, and then number one, we're going to actually put them on that slant. I think that's the best way to go. That's going to give us the, the routes that we need. Okay. And then on the back side, or on the front side, technically, it's just the tight end working it out. This looks like an all-out pressure, but yeah, I don't like the backside of this one. That's the only thing. I don't have this thing set up. There are probably other plays out there that give you a better running back route, but you probably just put them to the flat and have them check release. Okay. And then for the third down play version of this is out of this empty formation. And I think I have it called, hold on one second. I have it called CO, which maybe is not the best way to call it, but this formation is stack right, open, far, plus. Okay, so right now it's really a 2x2 formation with the running back wide out to the right, open, far. Okay, I think that's the correct way of saying it. It actually might be wide. I gotta take a look if it's far or wide. Anyway, don't worry about that. Just know that again, this read would go to the out route would be your number one read, right? And then you would go through your progression. You would look at the middle to the slant to the curl, and just take the easy layups. These plays in general, like as you see so far, the branch and this play here, a lot of times you have the option of really throwing the ball outside. I think a lot of people are going to pack the middle of the field against a team like ours, but you have these outbreaking routes that you can get out quickly, and You're not throwing it far outside. You're throwing it like around the numbers. So it's not like you need a strong arm quarterback for this. Okay. All right, last concept is going to be for today. It's going to be the Aggie concept. Real easy concept here. Okay, so Aggie's going to show up a few times in this book right now. We have it down here. Okay, and then the Z now, Aggie stands for four verticals. Okay, four verticals, Aggie, and then Z now is going to talk about somebody running some sort of underneath route. Okay, we have it also built out of. We also have it up as just regular Aggie over here on 8 and 10. Okay. So it's just regular four verticals. So let's take a look at this on the 49ers playbook. Okay. So Aggie, all right. It looks like it's actually a 3x1 a lot of times that the formations are empty, but it's really just 2x2. So let me just try to find the easy one here. Um, let's use this one, West right slot, H out, H right out. Okay. So this is in the game. You have plays where the guy motions out like that, and you can see the four vertical element. So the way they read this is really interesting. It's really reading the entire field, and I guarantee it has to do with, um, middle field open, middle field close. Okay, the fact that everything's labeled one really tells me that find the matchup that you like first. Okay, and then after that, if it's middle field open, right, we know that we're probably going to be throwing these inside benders. If it's middle field close, okay, then we're probably taking a shot on the outside. The fact that there are no comebacks on this is a little bit stunning to me. I think we probably should be putting comebacks on the outside. That's just me being on the, thinking about it. If somebody's playing cover four or cover three, I'd rather have comebacks on the outside. But I do believe this outlet down here is probably very important. It's obviously a hot route. All right. Everything off the inside are hot, and then that one outlet is hot. So let's just take a look at how we're going to do it on the Madden field. I think there's an example here. Hold on one second. Yeah, so one of the plays that we are going to use is right here. So we're going to be in that speed formation, speed right. Okay. H is going to go out. This is a play that's in the game already, and it becomes the four verticals. And then we're going to have the underneath route. Okay. So be ready for this concept. I think this is a good concept to use on um kind of get back on track, second and long. Okay. And then later in the game, once you kind of maybe have a clue of what coverages they've been playing, you might be able to attack somebody down the field on the outside too. So I think it's not just the middle of the field. I think you can throw it outside. But remember, this offense is really heavy with making accurate throws short and in the middle. So let's stick to that for the most part. I'll see you on the Madden field. Okay, so this is going to be real quick, guys. It's not going to be anything crazy. Let's just start with the empty formation. Actually, this is going to be, yeah, we're going to start with the empty formation first. We're already aligned out there. All right. This play right now, just so you know, will also become Buffalo. I will use the same play to run Buffalo as well. So that's why you might see it twice in the book. It has two different uses for me. But using this stock and using it fine like this is good. All right. So you get your vertical matchups, and this is why I think everything is one. You want to see the matchups that you can get. And I just noticed right off the bat that Debo burnt the nickel on this route right off the bat. I just saw it at the corner of my eye. So I think you want to look for your matchups, try to like maybe choose the best matchup. This is obviously cover one. You're not going to get this all day, and then try to go from there. This looks like this is going to be middle safety closed. It could be something else because anything, just so you know, on defense, from a defensive perspective, we're looking at it at defense. Double mug formations are really good to use because the leverages with the nickels aren't always true. I just realized that they're screwed up here. They don't have a guy out there on Mostert, so there could be something wrong there that they did. But in general, it's hard to tell the coverage sometimes with that. So you want to get people spread out. You want to look for the weaknesses. I would say that the underneath outlet coming flat. I'm not sure if that's really the best way to run it. It looks like they're also using the slant route up the field. So you might want to take a look at that, right? But you can obviously see I should have thrown it to um, Kittle on the right. Now, just from your eyes standpoint, I think it's best to just pick one side and go with it. Don't try to read both sides of the field. Like try to see if there's any easy busts. But honestly, just pick one side and then go with think about the idea that if it's middle, just work from inside out. Middle field open, you're probably going to throw it inside. You might be able to throw it outside, maybe. And then middle field close. You're still going to look inside, but you know you're really just looking inside to throw outside most of the time. Okay. But this is not a seam streak type of play. Don't get caught up in it like that. But just be smart and be aware to take the matchups. You see, I didn't hit Kittle. I didn't anticipate him getting open there. I should have stayed on him a little bit longer, but you'll learn. So this is one way to learn. Like when people run certain defenses or the computer tries you, what do you do? Not quite sure what happened here with them. Oh, they're just running. So they're running three match. You know, pretty sure of that because the one thing about this is that if you really want to be sneaky, you can keep the shallow on because this shallow route could potentially screw up match coverage. Just so you know, and you can see there's some bust right now where guys are wide open. I'll come back and take a look at that later on, but let me show you some other formations. Okay, so we have so this is the speed formation right there. This one does have some, if you keep the shallow on, I'm telling you this is an inside tip. If somebody comes on a three match, I learned this the hard way in a big game last year. This shallow is gonna it's gonna bug out the match coverage and end up looking like that sometimes. So if you want to look at it from that standpoint, it's you got yourself a little bit of a money play. I hate to use that word. It is that way. If you want to be honest with it, just put that guy in a slant. That should make the routes. They're playing match. Everybody's gonna stay matched up if there's a slant. I've made this video, guys, about this before already, so this is nothing new. Um, if number one is running a shallow, a smoke, okay, or a spot route, it will bug out the coverage. So this is no different than the video that I made about that. So if you keep it stock, it's going to bug out the coverage if you're getting some sort of match coverage, even match palms. It struggles to cover that play. Okay, but if you put that guy in a slant, I can't believe I'm telling you guys to put that guy in a slant. I've always thought that was cheese offense, but that's what it looks like. That's looks like what the Niners are doing right now, right? And let me see. I don't think I have it up in third down. I do have a third down version of this. Hold on. Oh yeah, I already said it. So we're gonna run it out of we can run it out of this, right? Oh no, that wasn't it. I apologize. Hold on one second. We can I already have that there. Okay, no, we talked about that. What am I missing? There's something I'm missing here. Oh, just regular four verticals. So no Z now. So just Aggie. This is just straight up. Sean McVay runs this, right? And they probably put like they have to give a name for like the outside guys running comebacks. Probably Z Cat, X Cat for comeback, CAT come or I guess just for C comeback. All right, guys. I guess my brain is starting to bug out. This video's about probably going to be about 40 minutes long. So hope you guys liked it. Three concepts. I think really, again, breaking these things up into categories in my mind helped me, and talking to you guys helped me as well. So the branch with the different tags on the backside, the flag play with different tags on the backside, really with just bow, if you want to look at it like that, right? Arches. And the great thing is that we're not going to be heavy drop back. So you don't have to have a whole lot. That's the great thing about this offense. Okay. We have Scooter, Buffalo, Branch, Buffalo. I guess that's the one I guess I called it Branch. Yeah, they call it Branch. So all this stuff here is just real simple stuff, guys. I think you guys can get along. I think you guys will like it. My games you've seen me play so far, if you watched, I'm working through the process. I'm throwing picks and stuff like that on balls that I should not be throwing. But this would be the meat and potatoes of the drop back passing game. And you're gonna have these concepts show up again when it comes to calling them in games. Okay. So I think that's a cool thing about it. All right, let's make all these colors just so you can see the four categories. Now there's some more down here that we're gonna kind of mix in some one timers. But like to me, it's something like choice stucco. I'll make a video just in this separately. It's similar to like flag bow. It's just the routes are a little bit different. Pull shallow is similar to arches. We already talked about fork. It's part of it was buffalo or fork. Those were the two backside combinations. Rub is really more of a red zone thing to me, but you can use this. And then banner water is another bunch formation that would give you some really good looks of guys getting open. I think actually banner water will hold up. I think banner water should be in the red zone. Take a look at it with you guys real quick. Yeah, banner water, just a different formation. Okay, so I do believe this is the version where we have three receivers to one side, slug, and then I have the same version of it from just regular bunch. Okay, so there's some little one timers in there that you can kind of complement, maybe use them versus you predict certain coverages. Like rub is pretty much just double Indy 7. So you may want to run that versus man more than zone. Okay, so stuff like that. All right. But again, guys, the meat and potatoes, we're going to come back to it and finish it up, is going to be this movement and play action. This is where you're going to get your big chunk plays. If you're going to throw for 200 plus yards, it's because you've thrown about 5 to 6 to 7 play actions and you connected on at least half of them. All right. But that is there for you. And then if you think you could run this offense and not run the ball, you are sadly mistaken. You really have to get your opponent to believe that you're going to be running the ball every play. And then they're going to really start changing their defense accordingly. All right. All right, guys. Hope you like this part of the series. I enjoyed making it for you. We will continue back probably with the rest of the passing game that we just talked about, those little one timers. We'll cover the third down just so you know, but we've kind of covered some of those concepts already. And then we'll do three step, right? And then we'll circle back to the rest of the play action and the rest of the run game as we go through the series. All right. You guys have any questions, comments, concerns? Let me know. Watch my games that I post sometimes on my YouTube channel. Just go to the ones that say league games. I've been posting games. I'm pretty much running this offense exclusively, except maybe one league. So I'm even running this style of offense in college football. Okay. So I know I haven't gone into the Coen stuff. I will later, but right now I'm just kind of using this exclusively. All right. So, you guys have any questions? Let me know. I'll talk to you later.